the old, the young, the many, the few. They all came to learn, and how we learned from you.
Melanie, 30 seconds. The money kind of thing. If a fourth of the children are moved out of the district because this program is lost, you will lose all of the money you save. If 50% of them leave and those parents are passionate, you're going to go in the hole even more.
Hi, my name is Amy DeRozier, and I'm a Moores Park neighbor, and I'm the president of the Moores Park Neighborhood Organization, and I have a 2.5-year-old son. And I made a conscious decision to move to Lansing and to stay here, even with having a son. And there's been many of our neighbors that have been moving to Lansing, and part of those people that have been moving to Lansing and been moving to our neighborhood have been moving there because of the school. The school is a really integral part of our neighborhood, and we really value it, as Shirley mentioned earlier. And I'm here to ask the school board to reconsider the closing of Moores Park Elementary, as well as the other 2 schools on the chopping block, for 3 main reasons. The first one is that school district funding from the federal stimulus package, that money is still up in the air. And I know it's still up in the air, but there's potentially significant funding that could be coming to the district for schools. I've seen some estimates that potentially up to $41 million could be come to the Lansing School District for schools. And I would really urge you to hold off on your recommendations and your decisions until we find out what happens with that funding. The other thing that I want to mention is that right now Lansing is going through a master planning process, and I think it's really important to consider the overall impact of our school closings to the overall viability of Lansing. And as we're going through this master planning process, if we don't have these neighborhood schools anymore, then it kind of cuts out a whole thing of why Lansing could be and is vibrant in some areas. And the third thing is that it's been proven across the nation that smaller schools make a big and positive difference on the lives of students. The governor's been promoting smaller schools, and yet Lansing seems to be going the other way. And in terms of cost effectiveness, there's been a lot of research that suggests that larger schools are not always more cost effective because you have to spend more money to deal with crowd control. And I have a whole pamphlet I'd like to show you about why smaller schools are better for social behavior, extracurricular participation, dropout rates, and everything else. Can I get?
Thank you.
Willie Williams, downtown Lansing. I passed around to you my my way of looking at the MEP scores. If you'll notice, what I do is simply take the 7 categories, add them all up, divide by 7, and I get a number for each school. And I do that every year, so I can determine where I think the chess program needs to be held. The scores show that Grand River went down 6% this year, and Mount Hope went down 9% this year, and Moores Park went up 9% this year. Well, Moores Park seems to be doing a lot of good work over there. As to the process, that's the more important thing to me. As to the process of how we do this, it's going to land, in my opinion, it's going to land at the polls. That's where it's going to land. We're going to be replacing the school board. That's what we're going to do, replace the school board. Except for 3. I must say there are 3 good ones. Now, I read from the newspaper, as I only have 1 minute. From the newspaper, from Jack Davis, it says, "It's very difficult and not a pleasant task. We're not doing it because we want to do it. We're doing it based on the population of the district." I read also, School Board President Hugh Clark said he's sorry that schools have to be closed with the district's budget crunch leaves few options. Quote, "I've got to run the school district like a business. It's a $180 million a year operation. GM, to survive, is looking at cutting out entire divisions." Did you hear the small print? Mr. Davis, I'll do it again. We are not doing it because we want to do it. Mr. Clark, I have got to run the school district like a business. No, sir, you don't. We voted for 9 people, not 1. And even though you do run the district, you shouldn't. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Don
Grand River people, especially our parents. I'm not on the clock yet. It's 2 minutes and 43 seconds, and I'm not stopping.
Excuse me.
So many times they played. So many times I wish we could have stayed. And so many times we walked through bright hallways and I hear the children talk. So many times I'd find brand new smiling faces beneath September skies. And so many times life was great. Now they say it's too little, too late. The walls of brick and beams of steel gave us hope and hold our memories. The old, the young, the many, the few, they all came to learn, and how we learned from you. There are so many things that we should say before it's too little, too late. Now so many times you tear down walls like our history is insignificant and small. Let's close down the old and go with the new. I love my school, how about you? So many times life was great. Now they say it's too little, too late. Memories of our school so great. Now they say it's too little, too late. I appreciate the extra time.
Thank you.